The Death of Stalin is the new irreverent comedy by director Armando Iannucci, who you might know from his previous film In the Loop, which was on a lot of streaming services over the last few years. The film takes place on a fictitious night where Stalin has missed a Mozart ballet or something like that at a town hall, and he has made the impossible request to have a recording of it when none such recording exists. So this sets a ball in motion that very quickly results in the death of Stalin and all of his, uh, you know, henchmen and yes men around him struggling to know what it means to have identity without Stalin around and who they are in that framework, what their lives have meant to this point. The film is, like a your classic irreverent comedy with a lot of political undertones. I felt a lot like I was watching something like Doctor Strangelove. There aren't, a lot of comparisons, but just that zany sense of people who should be important and have, respect for their positions running around in ways that betray that kind of honor. And it's ripe for good comedy. It's a good scenario for a lot of hilarious situations. One thing I really liked about this movie is its incredible pace. Once it started, it was just rolling, and you were caught up in it, and it was not boring for even a moment. But what I also enjoyed about this is that it separated itself from other zany comedies, even zany kind of political comedies, because it really had a dark weight to it. A lot of the humor was very dark and challenging, and you found yourself time and time again laughing at the joke that someone was being murdered or there were some kind of human rights abuses, and there was, one part of your mind that was going along with this sort of nervous laughter, and then also going, "Hey, this is pretty messed up." And that's what good satire does. The Modest Proposal, that kind of thing. But it's still, um, it's a hard line to walk, and this movie tonally captures it. I would say that if you're looking for a movie where you want to just be on the floor laughing, unless you're like a person who enjoys um, political, dry, irreverent humor, then this isn't going to be your thing. I felt like more of the smiles that I got from this movie were kind of like on the inside. I don't feel like I was belly laughing most of the time, with the exception of one scene where they kept accidentally stepping in this puddle of pee. It's a solid film that knows what it wants to say, says it well, and gives you a lot to think about. You're going to walk out of the theater surprised at the conversations you have with people. And, if you want to start an uncomfortable Trump conversation with someone at work, go see The Death of Stalin and then just kind of let it, naturally evolve into that and see what happens. So I've decided to give this movie an 83. Now, I know that that seems kind of low compared to whatever it has on Rotten Tomatoes right now, like a 96 or something. But if you'll notice, the user review is like, I think, an 81 while I'm filming this right now. So, I guess on this one, my opinions are lining up a little more with the public perception of the film. I think what's preventing it from getting a higher score for me was just the fact that, like, when a film resonates with you and when it doesn't. And I never felt truly connected with any of the characters. They were all just kind of like puppets that were going around doing funny things and saying funny things in an environment that was, so satirical that it's not socially believable. And, the only weight, of the film is from like the overarching parallels and metaphors that are taking place in it, not necessarily the action on the screen for me. I don't know. I'm hard to please with comedies. People are going to be like, this is an amazing movie. And it's a really good movie, but it just didn't quite hit that level of, A grade movie for me. This is like a solid B kind of movie. So anyway, but I'm still, I'm excited to see more films by Iannucci in the future, and I'm actually have not seen In the Loop, so I'm intending on watching that this week to sort of develop my larger opinion of his films.